Madam Torkornoo and the former Chief Justice. They be a friend the former Chief Justice about for Tiasie because of a former or yet your baby or a former. The baby she's still the former Chief Justice and could be bia. And the mommy way a press conference. Now they be a yebusa and then there's yebusa question and say, Madam Torkornoo and the press conference or no. Nasa press conference no. A press conference and I say a speech and I say a call for help. Because what I saw today, TV so what I witnessed, I saw a woman who was holding on to straws, a woman who could not allow her ego to tell her the truth, a woman who has been embroiled in arrogance, a woman who feels Ghana revolves around her. So what I saw when I was listening to Torkornoo today, I watched her deep. The words she was saying there, I knew the majority were made up. It was just grammar. But I watched this woman very, very deep. I saw a woman who was disturbed. A woman who feels that she needs to be protected, even though she knows she has committed a crime. A woman, who will say, she is unique than any judge, any Ghanaian. A woman who feels so entitled. That is what I saw today. A woman who tried to tell us, say, we are stupid. Why are we not defending her actions? So what I saw pettiness. I felt sad. I saw arrogance that has destroyed a fine woman. I saw the depletion of intelligence, whereby arrogance had destroyed a woman who could have let the storm, who could have just stepped away from a storm she created herself. I felt bad. I felt pity for her. I felt so sad. I saw arrogance. I saw pain. And I saw what I call a cry for help. The press conference says speech say a cry for help now you're sharing in there. No, this is the biggest sad story we have witnessed in our history as a republic. One of the saddest Kumewood stories, one of the hurtful stories in our history as a nation. I saw a woman who is drowning in arrogance. Drowning in arrogance. There's water in her mouth, water in her nose, water in her eyes. She knows she can just let her arrogance go and she will live. But she's still holding on to arrogance. And arrogance slowly drowning Torkornoo. I felt bad. I felt bad because I don't know what power they to me a nipa. The nipa entumi ntena say to me yambo bia fa to me and shedding nsem nipa na di to me she nipa nsem. I felt bad. At a point I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed because the honorable lady that people thought she was, today she exhibited the highest form of politics. We have known this lady as a judge, as a neutral. Today she even tried to taint our history, all because of arrogance, selfishness, all because she feels so entitled. That is what I saw. I saw sadness. And she has created this for herself or upon herself. She's holding on to arrogance. She's holding on to entitlement. Leave it and you will float. She says no. And that thing she's holding on to will kill her. It will destroy every single thing that makes her who she is. Whatever she represented. Today, this woman has drowned with it. It's terrible. It's sad. It's hard to watch. Now, and Osnomame Madam Torkornoo Obekasa Bibri, and I will take my time and explain to you the Mami way I am one of the most dangerous individuals in Ghana. You know, some see Nasa ye can't sama. What you need to do is to make sure, especially say Ayamra and we write him fee and I can't assemble him fear. It does not matter how in Pediformity assembly no air can't assemble. the least or the worst thing you can do, and I say you're not supposed to do, ade ani say we ye ni say ube step out of asem na ye kana himfia ko gina bontene ato ayampia. And that is what we saw today. That is what we witnessed today on our TVs. And to say ye can somewhere himfie impenifu atena se obi eniwa impenifu etoto ano if we say we ye nipa titiri wo kurom oni ye neti kuro we mu ye nim se we ye nipa titiri asem abeda ho ye nim se ye de mra ne di asem enti ohene krampo amfre ekurom wofo if we say omo pese omo bo ho ban enti asem ne beto ho na asem nkofa ne mra na membo de wuro fre busua panyi bra fre ochiame bra fre odi kuro bra fre ahemfo miensa beka me ho na yentie na asem if we say oye nipa titiri wo kurom ha. The reason why our hene yes and say on pese nipa domo wo kurom no empo beti kukuom asem a sempo udi for kra na on pese mo beti if we say dear why ye ene ugina bre no eho ena ohene no ana ekurom penifo no e protect enti ye de asem wura himfie a sebio asem wura himfie a amra eda ho enti ate say asem da himfie a maami we impedifo atena se omo ye bibia say asem no mo kan krampo no enkwa abontene asem no mo kan krampo no se bia egu ne ho fie a enkwa abontene maami we epie kogina ahimfie na abontene na auto ayampia na ayampia na no auto no ene den. She was trying to denigrate ekuro no, trying to denigrate ohene no, trying to denigrate ahemfo na ya from no mabetena kukuom ene ne kan sem no kode no. She was trying to make them look bad in the eyes of the villagers. That is what Torkornoo did today. It is a asem sa si de na ya opese omo moti asem no so no omo ye obesa akwa akotena omunim se ye nto asem no so ana se ahemfie ho uwura ho biem. Now, that is the question I'm asking this woman. This woman has lost it. I respect her a lot, but what I saw was the lowest point of a woman who wants to be respected as a woman who is resolute. Torkornoo the oche and then says she's resolute. It does not mean say she is a woman who can stand on her ground. What I saw today is a woman who is still holding on to arrogance, entitlement, a woman whose own deeds are drowning her, but she's refusing to let it go to save herself. Torkornoo is murdering sleep. She is not able to sleep no more because she herself is murdering sleep. That is what I saw today in this woman. And that is what I witnessed. I felt bad. I felt bad. This was just a joke. It was so embarrassing. It was like you are watching some comedy. Now, team, stay with me. And yeti say Madam Torkornoo a ojina committee enim a to na no amano asama abeda ho se we ye nyome bia sebio entwaye as the Chief Justice, and that those things ye busa no ho asem me na wokasa ye kasa sisia no the Chief Justice Madam Torkornoo obia ni Ghana wa accused no of a crime or condemned her. Obia ntina bebia enka say she's guilty of any crime. Say ya frau ebegina ahimfie na ubie wano ka say me ama me akwesi me kwame me ya me ekọ me nya kromfo a, then it means you are doing something that you don't want us to know. And the mami we ye and ensema efri nenumu baye. Clearly it clearly gives you an idea, say she still does not respect the rule of law. This is the Chief Justice we are talking about. Now, nyoma miensa nende Torkornoo ba se obabeye. Time of se press conference se speech so cry for help adem miensa no ba so be. One, what she tried to do today was to present the government and the NDC, a political party, as a party that is against judges. Or present NDC abino. Any NDC party to say a party omuku judges. This woman, that's what she came to do. She came to do politics. If you are not intelligent, if you are not smart, if you don't understand communication, you wouldn't know what she was trying to do. 90% of the things she came to say are trash. But then she had an agenda. And the agenda was that, let me take Ghanaians back. Let me make Ghanaians understand. Let me create something in the head of Ghanaians say, I am also a judge. Mokai NDC for ne yaka semya to almost say omoku judges pain. So the damage na oba so be no. Sa nyoma bebrebe na okan na ehia no. Na our agenda 3 and a good table so oba so be or a pure politician. Into the first thing she tried to do was to make people think or believe, create the perception say NDC a party no, oh omuku judges omumpe judges asem, and she at this point is somebody who is suffering from the same fate. Judge phobia you kuomono almost suffer. That's what she came to do. That was first. Second, now she wanted to incite we, the citizens who are ready to listen to the fact and follow the process through. She wanted to incite us against Poaman, who is a colleague judge. What she wanted to do was that she wanted other judges and people in the judiciary to see Judge Poaman as somebody who is working against the judiciary. The second agenda was that now I'm going to present myself in a way, I'm going to try and present Poaman in a way to look like he is the snitch. He is the one who is stabbing me in the back. He is the person who is behind the scenes orchestrating all this. And that judges Monte, the judiciary Monte, you all should come to my side. And that Poaman, the NDC, they are using him to destroy me and you. And it's all TN in Semnibia. He was trying to generalize the heat, to send some threats and some kind of warning to the judges now. Sebio Omaedin study the process and say, Yebekume, but Yasesa Ochnebekum. Secondly, she came out to hang Poaman, who is her colleague. And remember, Judge Poaman, he is also following the same article 146. Emma Yahukwain, Emma Dien, Yama sa process where you Juma Amiakusi. Remember, Torkornoo ebesinde. With D4 nobody has pronounced her guilty in any of the deliberations and the committee, the whatever. Put that in your head. But you see, today she was speaking as if she's guilty. She was speaking as if she has been condemned. She was speaking as if say today but as we speak, Torkornoo is still, or she still has the right to defend herself. The third agenda or the bar and is simple. Play the victim role or play the sympathy card. She came with a lot of makeup. She came to present herself, her face, what she did today. So why a communication now? And summer she could have sent it out as a presser or as a statement for us to read. But deliberately, what she did today was that she wanted to play the victim. She was in black. From the Nazi, she was in black. She was sending a message. I am being victimized. Mina Metiano, please help me. She was begging for sympathy. She came there to act, to play the victim. But she has not been condemned yet. She's not guilty yet. But she came out to portray this picture there. You, me, Emi, Torkornoo. Some people are after me. They want to finish me. They want to destroy me. I have built a good life. Why do they want to do this to me? So what she did, these three things, if you are very smart, you will know what she did. She has sat down to think through what she did today. She could have released a statement for us to get that copy, read every single thing, but she decided to use her face. Because what she wants to do, say, she wants to put her face out there, and then that face will be circulated. These videos will be circulated to talk for her. She wants to take over the committee's job. She wants to take over the thinking of the Ghanaian now on Am Street. So if you get a piece of her video, you can now make a deduction and make a conclusion and say, that's what she wanted. And that is what she created today. Until she came as a widow. She was in black in everything. Draw session black. With all due respect. She knew what she was doing. She was smart about the Oyen in there. She sat down with some people. They drafted her drama today. Now, let's go into something else. So far, what did the American say? Now, Yebabe Kotnen Sema Okan Munde. What Madam Torkornoo today started saying, or started from a year, the venue, na ye can't semono. When she started speaking, she said, venue na ye can't semono, a venue be a intimidating, a shen so. Let's go listen to Madam Torkornoo.
The Edu Lodge facility. The Edu Lodge facility that the hearings are being conducted in featured very prominently in the planning of the murder of judges on June 30th, 1981. And this can be read about in the special investigative report on that terrible event in our nation's history. It will be recalled that there was a Major Samakwa, a military officer who was killed with the 3 High Court justices, who was a director of human resource of Gihok. He was my uncle and my guardian when I entered the University of Ghana in September 1980. I was also living with him at the time he was abducted and murdered. Was Edu Lodge chosen for my inquiry to make me feel insecure? I think so. And I continue to hold the view that there's no reason why a judicial hearing is being conducted behind the high walls of Edu Lodge.
So, my man said, one, I'll say in till date, now about 99.9% of Ghanaians, 99.9% of Ghanaians, na yenim baby a sa committee no ene mami we Asia. But what did she do? What she did was she first came out to tell us about where the meeting is happening. What is she trying to do? She's trying to let us know the location. So one, she's exposing the committee members. Mamencho Edu Lodge in this is the building. But you see, in her video, she made it sound like some small bunk be. Another Dan Kweku for the MPP. They renovated it before election 2024. Election no elu omuluzia no mujato. The Edu Lodge na okase. Omo sheda the case ni ko so onko because nane wo fa bi on ne tenaye na oye sojenia ye ku judges bia na oka no na omo pese okai ni wo fa ni wuo. This is the Edu Lodge. Now ask yourself, why would she start from here? One thing she wanted to do, she wanted to blow the cover of the committee where the committee meets. She wanted Ghanaians to know, say, aha, and if you're a bad person and you hate what is happening, if you hate poor man, if you hate those committee members, this is where you have to come. She was sending a red signal. You and I, do we care about where this hearing is happening or was happening? No. The government did everything possible to keep it away from us. But why do you think this woman will start by exposing where the meeting is happening? Because opese odi obia okasa committee no ho and anyone involved obesa odu omo to a very difficult position mu. She is breaking the security down. What this woman is doing, she is basically calling for help. If you want to attack these people, if you want to come burn the place up, if you want to come shoot, this is the place to come, because this is where it is happening. So these are the codes she was sending. Because to bring Edu Lodge into this matter and to tell us to say that is what you think, that means that is not the fact. Because obusa question say it may be only call a meeting no I don't know person me kai me ofa yeku no any ade ana and the ebia sa na medwene, meaning she herself, she cannot prove say that is the reason why sa meeting no was put ewa anase ka say omonye no Edu Lodge. What she was doing, she was trying to incite the people who support her, who are hooligans, people who want to attack the committee members, people who want to come there. The person here say she needs people to come there, amass out there and start demonstrating. That is what she's doing. She's giving them codes. She's telling them, Sanko from a committee so person who mo nyina mombra Edu Lodge. Mo be demonstrate into Ochina nopa. Ye be on nipa 2000 egwo a demonstration around a castle. It is because the woman has given the green light. She has exposed every single member of that committee. Because you ask yourself, why would she bring Edu Lodge into this? She's the Chief Justice. She's leading. She's indirectly leading people. She's indirectly giving a signal. Onya smarter and right now as we speak, every committee member, their life is at stake. Menoka say, so be person obo be true, or be person or attack any of the committee members are. The only place they are heading is Edu Lodge area. It does not matter the security around. Right now, that place is not safe. That is what Torkornoo was doing. She's inciting her base, telling them the location. And it's not but let's keep it here. Now, now before we move ahead, and I say I want to ask this woman, say, before our Omiti committee, did she take an oath? And if she took an oath, what does the oath tell her? What does it tell her? In fact, did she take an oath before the proceedings? And I am very sure, say, she took oath, or she has been taking oath every single day before the committee sits. Now, what did the oath, or what was the reason for her taking an oath? It was for her to protect the secrecy of the committee hearing. It was for her to protect the secrecy of the committee hearing. When the committee started hearing this woman's case, at a point she went to Supreme Court. Why didn't she do a press conference in public before going to the Supreme Court? But even though she knew that the committee, they had given all her rights, she knew that she has every right to go to court, to allow her legal team to go to court. She knew she was under oath. So what did she do? She did not come out to publicly tell Ghana for say, this is what is happening to me. But what she did is, she knows the law. So she tasked her lawyers or her counsel to go to the Supreme Court. Why do you think if today, Opeso High Court, why would she do a press conference on TV? What has changed? Because this is the same woman who adhered to the oath now oteki, and she knew say the beginning, say a press conference say we boom raso. Now suddenly something has changed. She has decided to flout the law. Sa oath no oteki we break it and we about press conference and we catch say or high court. Now say high court. I didn't want to ask my lawyers. It's the first time, no, or smart or more call Supreme Court. No. Why do we need a TV, this jamboree paparazzi thing? There's a reason why she's doing this. There is a reason why Torkornoo today did this. She want to blow the country up. Three things now the buy. One, to present the NDC as a party that kills judges. Secondly, to tell Ghanaians to say, the judge sitting on the case, poor man, any other judges, they are ganging up against her. And three, she wanted to play the victim. Sympathy card. And until the end, Obeka chere o TV so say may call high court. But the first time I go Supreme Court, one TV so I'm a cabusa also adding that it means she knows the law. She knows what she's doing today is unconstitutional. She knows she's breaking the law. But she presented it in a way where now but analyze ya Obejo say or kanokre. What changed for her to come and say today, dear, I will not send my lawyers, but I am coming to speak. She could have even released a statement, but she didn't do it. So ask yourself, why did she do that? She's playing on the minds of Ghanaians. She's dragging us along. She wants us to be her lawyers. She wants to move the committee's job into the public domain. She wants to politicize the committee's report that is being guided by the Constitution. Because whatever is happening at the committee, she is struggling to answer the questions. Now she's playing rough. So she's now taking the case, she's putting it in the public domain, she's playing politics with it. She knows that is the only way that maybe she can get her MPP people to speak for her. Now, Osaka Sembi, Benya Butre na miye we because me pesa Ghana for the Torkornoo ye and or say if CJ is removed this way, everyone else is at risk. Or say behind me is every judge and every commissioner or head of an independent institutional body in the country. If this model of removal can be tried on the Chief Justice, it can be repeated with everyone. I am not countering these processes for myself, but on account of leadership burden I carry. Or see, the idea mendeno, Sabio, me a Chief Justice, and the AM say, a betuma to judge bia, a betuma to penini bia or die a banyajumanu bia, inti or somebody I say, and young men a make kwama me home. Now me catch them say, you bet to be the judge for the question here is this statement you are making, since say Madam Torkornoo case we buy, they are former judges in Ghana. They are former statesmen in Ghana. They are former lawyers in Ghana. She told us today she has been in this business for over 30 years. Why do you think even judges who are not now practicing actively, who are on pension, lawyers who are not practicing now, who see themselves as statesmen, why do you think you have not seen any of them officially come out to defend Torkornoo? Ask yourself why. Have you heard any former Supreme Court judge step out to share their opinion in defending Torkornoo? Have you heard any of them? Nobody. Is it not interesting? Because those people who were there before Torkornoo came, I don't think they are all crazy or they are all NDC. At least somebody will be reasonable enough to say, no, I also know the law. And I also have been in this position before. Why do you think we've not gotten any former Supreme Court judge, even one, to step out to defend Torkornoo? Because they have studied the law and they have seen that there is nowhere in the Constitution that has been breached. From the presidency to the Council of State to this committee, those judges sitting at home, the retired judges, those who are statesmen, they have looked through and they have monitored the process. There's nowhere in this process that the law has been breached. So when she speaks like this, now what she is doing is she is dragging all these people into it. Technically, they are all against me. I don't think the former judges, the former lawyers, majority of the statesmen and all that in Ghana, they will all be against you. They are not defending you because no law has been broken. No law in this country has been broken when it comes to you, this process that you are going through. Torkornoo came out, and what he came to do is to destroy and distract our judiciary and democracy. It otis or make a statement where you ask yourself, so why haven't these people you are talking about? You want to tell me, say, every former judge, every former lawyer, every statesman in Ghana, all of them are against you being removed? No, madam. There's a problem with you. They have read through the lines. There is a problem with you, Torkornoo. And you are trying to push the blame on them. Because a retired judge, a retired judge to me say, some way there, I don't even want to comment on it. If they are doing something bad like this to Torkornoo, why wouldn't I speak on it? It is because analyze the case now. Who say baby ni wa a process we will be a breach rano. So this woman, whatever she's doing, she's calculating what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. And obejina okasai almost 1 hour. When to men steti emraba kwa e kire se obi ebu emra no so process him. This is the Chief Justice of Ghana. She could not quote one law. Or to me, then Sassini Boka say the president, the committee, whoever is involved in this process, or be a breach Mrano. She could not quote one law, one constitutional law. To say, where in Amijina so she could not do it. This is the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. Because she knows the process is legit. The process is constitutional. She is forcing a narrative. She is creating a narrative. She is forcing you to believe in her kumewood. She knows what she's doing. She's communicating. She could have released a statement and told her lawyers to go to High Court. And why did she come on TV to do it? Why did she come to open her mouth and do it on camera? Or that conversation, she wants to be in there. She wants to direct the conversation. Now, Hadia, listen to this woman very well.
Anyone who has been to the Circuit Court or the High Court and made subject to the rules CI 47 will know that those rules never conceived that a hearing can be conducted without the claims, the defenses, and the issues being carefully laid out before the parties and accepted by all of them before a hearing starts. Ladies and gentlemen, it is this total absence of compliance with all known rules of fair hearing that has caused my lawyers to file applications for judicial review in the High Court to declare all the proceedings void. Because the clear danger is that through this flagrant violation of CI 47 and the darkness of the current proceedings being held in camera behind the walls of Edu Lodge, my lawyers and I can come to the end of the proceedings. The evidence will show that every one of those allegations in the petitions that were given to me on 27th March is unfounded and untrue. And yet, the committee can dig up some allegation from whatever documents they claim to be having from the president, which they have not shown to me, and purport to enter a recommendation for my removal on that basis. Allow me to say that this is totally unknown in the rule of law in this country. If it was lawful, I would have no reason to alert the nation of the dangers they represent. It is the violations of law that have forced me to bring these matters out in the light of day. The final and fourth reason for this statement is that I have heard on several occasions from loved ones, persons who care, persons who may not know me beyond my public duties, and many who think that since these proceedings seem to be carefully staged to result in my removal as Chief Justice, it would be best if I just retired or resigned rather than subject myself to an ill-motivated process. I have also received threats and veiled threats to the effect that if I fail to resign or retire voluntarily, I will be made to suffer some harm or the other.
Eti Madam Torkornoo asema all kan nyina na say o say adekudie nti a oye de oye no e simple o say eye emra na omodi di asem no ono de ohu ne say emra no sibia ekwan na omonam so no enye emra so na omonam edidi asem no na okasa no say senka emra na omofa so dia asem no senka eye mra kwan so no omofa anka no oni problem but on the lawyers etuma gather enough evidence say senior committee no efa so edi djuma no eye djuma bia senior omoye no emfa kwan mu emfa mbrem into ono kura no on the lawyers kode high court. That is what you think. Sana ono no dwene. It is the court that will decide, say, what is happening at the committee, the proceedings going on, whether it is constitutional or unconstitutional. It is not up to you, Torkornoo, to decide. That is why, you knowing the law, you have directed your counsel to go to the High Court. So why are you in public making the announcement to Ghanaians that you have directed your counsel to go to High Court? Because you are saying that per the evidence you yourself and your team you have gathered, you know, it just say committee no enim rano so. So nkomu dim rano so dia anka wono, there's no way I'll be contest ya dia way. And I can say ya onkofo kura omo do, nipa bi kura uhu omo da, nipa bi asebio omo ye nkofo bi a omo dwene ho, omo no wadi nkomo say aden ntina ade way unja amane nko. And I catch am say da bi. Enye se ja uja amana ko. Ena edin na emom onim se o se emra ne ye adwuma o se emra no ye de ye adwuma enti na odan kutem na se wo committee ni meeting na se wo se committee no ade omo ye na emfa mra kwan mu. Now you in your position as the Chief Justice, you know that the only place that you can make your case to prove the committee wrong or the process wrong is in the court. Why are you on TV sharing your evidence with us? Especially when you have taken an oath not to share anything that happens at the committee hearing. Well, then why do you deliberately flout the law? Why did you deliberately decide to breach or break the law to come on TV to tell us what you plan to do? Because when you plan to go to the Supreme Court, you didn't come on TV to tell us. So what is influencing this? What is influencing this, your decision of coming on TV to come and tell us what you feel, what you want to do, what you have gathered? Because what you have gathered is not automatic, or it does not justify that when you go to court, you are going to win. The evidence you have gathered does not automatically make your case better than whoever you are taking to court. So as we speak today, your case that you have does not guarantee you a win in court. So you coming on TV to tell us, say, this is what you want to do, no, it does not exonerate you from what you have done. Any Chief Justice who wants the right thing to be done will not speak about this. She will instruct her counsel to go straight to the High Court and put a case in. The same way you did it when you went to the Supreme Court. So what changed today? It is public sympathy. You want to paint the process as a bad process. You want to instill, you want to force us to believe your narrative. The old no, and then I'll say you drag you along your sympathy journey. Yeah, she said something like this. Or say, I have received veiled threats that if I don't resign or voluntarily retire, I will be made to suffer harm. Or say, among phobia, sebio a threaten no. Nipebi sebio omo huna no. Oma twene so sekan etuo sebio nipebi abane so in a form ayenim. It could be through telephone, it could be obi a watwetu won so, it could be say obi de sekan begina so. Or say nipebi huna no say so ono wan resign a Sebio, Nasa Anankasa or Wankasa Anjin Wantum and retire. Bonia Mubedino, no, Madame Torkornoo, who is the creme de la creme when it comes to a Ghana judiciary, she has refused to go to police to make an official statement. How did the threat come? Was the threat through a telephone call? Was it through email? Was it in person? Was the threat through a gun pointing at your head? How did the threat come? Where did it come from? What exactly did the person say? Why haven't you taken the initiative to report the threat to the police, but to come on national television to tell Ghana that you have been threatened? You are a judge. You are not just a judge. You are the Supreme Court, Chief Justice of our Supreme Court. Right now, you don't even recognize the Ghana Police Service. You have a policeman following you and guarding you every single day. You don't even respect that the police can protect you. So now you want to come on TV to tell we or us that you are being threatened and that you don't know what to do as a Chief Justice. And I am very sure you go everywhere with your security man, with your police. So I don't think the threat was in person, because if it was in person, I know your bodyguard would have taken care of that person. So the threat might have been through your phone, a phone call, an email, a text message, which can be traced. No number in Ghana today. Ghana number being why you to be tracing or Ghana and there. Was it through an envelope that was thrown in your hand? You need to let us know, because at this point you are still the Chief Justice who is on suspension. So you need full protection of we Ghanaians. So what stopped you from going to the police to make an official statement, for the Ghana Police Service to issue a statement that the Chief Justice of Ghana has been threatened to resign or voluntarily retire? What stopped you from doing that? Now you do all these things on TV. What are you trying to prove? You are seeking public sympathy. You are playing on the minds of Ghanaians. You have sat with this committee for days and weeks. Suddenly, you have decided to come on TV. Why? You have been to court before. When the proceedings started, you went to Supreme Court. You did not speak. You did not even come on any radio. Suddenly, to High Court, you are on national television, prime time. Why? Why? Why are you doing what you are doing? We can see through what you are trying to do. We can see what you are doing now. The process will not change. It will not collapse. The law is the law. The process is the process. Now, listen to Torkornoo. She said something. She boldly made a statement. I am confident that in my journey as a lawyer, judge, and now Chief Justice, there is no one person who can look at me in the eye and accuse me of taking a bribe to decide a case. This is the personal treasure of integrity that I live with. You don't have to tell us. We are the ones who are supposed to judge. So, for you to even come out to tell Ghana for say, menje bribe da. And a menje bribe and decide assembly da. And no idea chese me Torkornoo. The question here is, who gives the bribe and who takes the bribe? Are you the one to judge your actions, or we are the ones to judge your actions? The office you are occupying is a state office. It's a national office. We decide your conduct. You don't decide your conduct. Now, this woman wants everything we are talking about now, and yet the committee hearing and the petition against her, she wants to trim it down to her and what she has done and what she hasn't done. Madam, you have not taken bribe. When I catch on bribe dayati. But it is not only bribe and say you have basically gone against the ethics of your job. It is not just taking bribe. If you were just taking bribe, you wouldn't be sitting in front of a committee. It goes beyond you taking bribe from somebody. It even goes beyond you thinking as a normal Chief Justice. Your position can even influence decisions. Do you know that? Your position as the Chief Justice, You don't need to ask somebody for bribe. Your daughter benefited millions of cedis from Ghanaians because of your position. We were here when your daughter, you as the Chief Justice, your daughter got a juicy contract of almost $500,000 just to design a room for Ghana judiciary. Your position, where you sit, you don't have to take a bribe. Your position and where you sit can influence a process. So don't limit this conversation to who you are and what I have not done. It's about the process. Were you the person who did this? Did you follow due process, the ethics of your job? Every did you follow the ethics? Because your position as a Chief Justice, it helped your daughter to get a contract worth millions. And this is the invoice your daughter your daughter issued. And we are talking about 438,000 old Ghana cedis, almost 5 billion. And that contract was to decorate the judiciary, restaurant, and library. If it wasn't for your influence and where you sit, do you think your daughter will get this contract? No. So it is not about you taking bribe or not. It's about your conduct, how you conducted yourself. Nobody has accused you of taking bribe. Nobody has accused you anywhere for taking bribe from anybody, but your conduct, how you conducted yourself in your office. You being a Chief Justice alone, how did your influence affect even procurement processes at the judiciary? The same secretary your secretary, the same person who led your daughter to secure that contract, which you signed for her to make that money, you actually at the end of the day nominated that secretary, suggested the secretary to the president to make her go to the Supreme Court. It is about your conduct. It is about where you sit, where you position yourself, the damage you are doing with that your influence. What you are doing is childish. That is what we are talking about. It is not somebody walking to you and giving you money. So don't divert the substance. We are talking about your conduct. We are talking about what your position, what you used it for, directly and indirectly to benefit you. In this awoba, and your contract way, and you the one who signed this contract, you green light it, then you need to be questioned on your attitude, your ethics, and how you respect the rule of law. So, madam, it is not about you taking bribe. It is about us checking what you have used that position to do. Do you get it? And do not ever sit anywhere else and start talking about, I have not taken bribe and nobody can say you have taken bribe. Of course, we don't know. We have never mentioned anywhere that you have taken bribe. But we can talk about your conduct in the office, how it influenced decision making. And not just in favor of your daughter, it favored your secretary. These are the things we are talking about. Conflict of interest. Conflict of interest. And conflict of interest can generate into corruption. Because conflict of interest can make your daughter get a contract which she did not deserve to get. And that is corruption. You are still failing to understand. You are still not using your senses. You are making politicians mislead you. Just apply the common sense that you have. Put your emotions and your arrogance aside. Bring yourself to the Adole level. Do not think we are stupid. You stood on your legs for almost an hour. Trash talk. You tried to malign the government, the presidency, malign your colleague judges. You malign a process that has been legitimately put together. You could not state one law. You could not base your statement on one law to say the process from day one to today, it has been flawed. You could not state one law. But you were passing commentaries. You don't respect us. You want to play jandam with us. You are playing to the gallery. You are now putting people's lives at stake. You want people to go after people. You are now trying to drag a political party into this matter. You are bringing those tribalistic, those people who create their own history. Oh, don't you remember NDC? Today, there is a house. That is where my uncle used to stay. Madam, be focused. What you are doing is childish. It is not going to save you, because the matter in front of the committee, they are looking at the facts, not how you feel. How you feel is your own property. You felt you wanted to go to high court. You can go, but it does not change the process. The process must still go on. Now, this is what she said when it came to her travels. Her travels. Traveling with my husband and daughter is part of my condition of service as Chief Justice. Yes. And you see, when she got there, Ms. Ayers, do you have her travels video for me? Let me see if I can find it. Ms. Ayers, do you have her travels for me? Yes. Let's watch this.
In 2 allegations, he's complaining that I misappropriated public funds to buy a ticket for my husband and my daughter to travel with me. In answer to this, I handed over my letter of appointment to prove that in my conditions of appointment as Chief Justice, Ghana graciously gave me 2 vacations in a year. In the Judicial Service travel policy, since 2010, the Chief Justice can never travel alone for security reasons, and the Chief Justice is always allowed to travel with a spouse or another person of their choice. So traveling on my officially given vacations with my husband on 1 occasion and my daughter for the 2nd vacation is part of the official conditions of my appointment as Chief Justice. I was also not responsible for buying the tickets in question, such that I could be said to have misappropriated the value of the tickets. Indeed, if the Judicial Service was not allowed to buy the tickets for my vacation, the remedy was for the Auditor General to surcharge me to refund the money. Anyone can check out the 2023 accounts of Judicial Service and know for themselves that there is no surcharge against me or anyone for the tickets that were purchased for my vacations. Ms. Ofori seems to be alleging that I should have traveled with my police escort alone on vacation and not a family member. And this is why he wants me removed from office. And I'm being tried or held behind the walls of Edu Lodge. Ladies and gentlemen, the question to be asked is, why would anyone demand that I go on vacation given to me as Chief Justice with my police security instead of going with my husband or my daughter? And how can this be a reason for subjecting a Chief Justice to a committee of inquiry?
So you see, when she got to her travels, what she deliberately did was that, and we have done this story, she lumped it together. See, my travels. At a point, she said, the travels is part of a condition of service, which we understand. At a point, she said, travel with her husband on 1 occasion and her daughter on a 2nd vacation. Now, what she tried to do was that was the beginning. As some way by and NPP for a year. She decided to lump private travels and official travels together. Official and unofficial travel. She lumped the 2 together into Okache Ghana for Ejuma me ye no. Nyome bi a wo hono say me so mitumi den ekojima home. Enti dia na kire say mintumi ni me kunu ene me ba entu kwan. Na branch na me kogina committee nanim no. Osimi ntumi ni me kunu ene me ba entu kwan. Emeye ma mo pe diem. Moko Auditor General nkrata mu a mo behu se eye me ndeka bia anka Auditor General betata me. But what she failed to tell you is say akase, oh, you are entitled to travel or travel on vacation. There is official travel, which is aban adwuma na wokoye. And your private travel, which is a wankasa and a woko akwaji wa home for leisure, for anything you want. Now what she did was she put the two together. The petitioner was telling or was questioning Torkornoo that Torkornoo, it is true. Your condition of service lecture say you can take a year vacation. But the same condition of service, it states it explicitly. Say, when you are going on official trip, this is what you get. And when you are going on a private trip, this is what you get. So there are two pegs to one travel. Now, the travel is a big package, but within the travel, there is a private and there is the official. So, as an official capacity to work, the pegs in it are different from traveling on vacation, which is not official. She basically decided to talk about the general traveling, but she decided not to go into the kind of travel she made. She's diabolic. She knows what she's doing. And you see, a or a judge, she has read psychology. She has read what we call communication. She's able to read between the lines. To confuse you, to give her what she wants. Because when you tell me that you have the right to travel as a Chief Justice and it's part of your condition of service, I agree with you. Even the president, he can travel. But there are some travel the president will make. They are official and some are unofficial. There are some travel the president will take some kind of pegs, and there are some travel he wouldn't be given that kind of pegs. So you need to break it down what the petitioner was asking. Not you traveling with your husband or with your guard. The petitioner was asking you the specific travels you made. What were the pegs and how did you use it? Did you abuse it? That is the question. But what she did was that she lumped the travels together. Look at me. I can travel with my husband. On one occasion with my daughter and the second with my husband. She is not being specific. She's generalizing the thing because she wants to drag you along with her sympathy. She wants to go on a sympathy journey with you. She knows what she's doing. She is cracking. She's cracking. She's playing on the conscience of Ghanaians. She's buying public sympathy. It was on this show, her travels and what the judicial audit service extra for the travels. Now, judicial audit service, when they were writing the report, they were specific and they used specific statements. For official and unofficial. How can you just come and tell Ghana for say, I cannot travel with my husband and on occasion on my second? No, let us know what the petitioner is asking. The petitioner is asking specific question. Did you abuse the specific travel you made? And which travel did you make? Was it official? Did you use the right pegs? Did you abuse that peg? That is what you're asking. That is why when you were saying, you have not taken bribe before. I don't care about you not taking bribe. It is your conduct. Your conduct can influence a lot of things, especially from where you sit. Do not hide behind generalization of statements and making it look like what can something vague until we should fall for it. No. There's a reason why we are being specific and asking specific questions, because we demand reasonable answers. That's why I told you, what actually influenced you to come and do this? Because Saud himself was saying, intact. Give it to your lawyer. Don't even make a public statement. Let your lawyer go to court and defend this or make a case for you. But what you are doing is, in the first place, now call court, Supreme Court, one TV, so other than that, the High Court, TV, so open public, to drag us with you to the court. You cannot judge this case in public. The process needs to be completed. The process, we need to go through the process. Now, thank you very much, team. Let me read this to you. This is from the Judicial Services. One who said, me read the video the show. Now, when you read the Judicial Service report in the Bible, this is what they wrote. Torkornoo is diabolic. Be very careful. That woman, she's dangerous. From end of no, she's on a mission. Now, the Judicial Service travel policy. This is the policy. Now, when you take your time and analyze the policy, thank you, team. Thank you, Mr. S. I need, how many are they? There are 3, right? Oh, there are 2. Okay, I'll read the second one. Now, they have policy. The Judicial Service, they have travel policy. Now, the travel policy, what does it say? Me show atra Torkornoo edi. Now let me read that. It says this. The Judicial Service Travel Policy, revised in 2019, outlines entitlement for official travel by judicial officers, including the Chief Justice. Key points include the word be sure official travel. Ask yourself why the Judicial Service Travel Policy they put a word official travel there. There's a reason. It is signaling that what we're about to talk about is strictly linked to official travel. So when you go into official travel, what does it say? Official travel must be authorized by the Judicial Secretary or relevant approving authority. 2, the Chief Justice is entitled to per diem, airfare, and accommodation for official assignments. Security personnel may, so it's optional. You can decide to drop the security personnel or go with the security personnel. The security personnel may accompany the Chief Justice on official trips, especially for international engagements. All expenses must be accounted for with receipt, and any unused interest, that is advance funds, must be returned. Now you come and tell us that your travel, now you cannot travel with your husband, you cannot travel with your daughter. I'm asking you, when you traveled with your husband and your daughter, was it an official travel or was it private travel? Because we are the ones paying. In your statement, why were you not specific about your travels? Now, when you move forward and you look at the Judicial Service Travel Policy, now read this one. This is what we call private travel rules. So they actually have rules for official travels and they have rules for private travels. Torkornoo kasano olampi ni nyina bomu baako e do dadao. But the petitioner was asking specific questions. Now, what the private travel rules, DNK, I say private travels treated differently. Now, the Chief Justice may not use state funds to cover expenses for personal travels. Chief Justice, you may decide to use your own money. Did you use your own money on this private travel? No, you use government money. So the rules apply here. Did you flout the law? The rules apply here. Did you go by the ethics? The rules apply here. Do not lump things and throw things to the people. Break it down if you are willing to speak on the matters. Now, family members, spouses or children, it says family members, spouses or children are not entitled to travel at the state expense unless explicitly approved under exceptional circumstances. You see, oyere, okunu, oba, they are not supposed to travel some special circumstances. Obakache say you are traveling with your husband and your daughter. Which kind of travel are you talking about? Because I've read 2 types of travels to you. When you go down there, it says this: if the Chief Justice chooses to travel with family during personal leave, those costs must be borne privately. Yes, it's a Chief Justice here. You say, on one person 2 coin, on the bush for 2 coin, on the crew 2 coin, na enya Benjamin Okoya, also on what chiaka. Did you do that? You know the law. The law is the law. The law is the law. So you went even ahead to pay per diem to your daughter. Does the private travel allow that? Does the official travel allow that? Specify where the travel is. Don't just vaguely come and say, I cannot travel with my husband and another occasion with my daughter. No, be specific. The petitioner is asking specific questions. The 2019 policy reportedly stated that only security detail may accompany the Chief Justice on private travel for safety reasons. You say only security. It will call private, but in the beginning, you say optional. You can decide. You can choose to. But for your security reasons, only security detail may. It is conditional. You can choose to drop the security. If you think your security, you can take care of yourself. Into which one were you talking about? The law is the law. This woman came on TV today to deliberately decide to lie to Ghanaians. So when you say endwudwane nsɛm no amfeefe nsɛm no mu a obetwa wotro create impression bi ato tim he ade obeye den wa rehearse for weeks. She has rehearsed this. Even her body language, her dressing, she has rehearsed this. Watna se akekensie ni onim de no oye. Onjimi yo, oye very intelligent woman. She is doing everything possible to maneuver. And it not started free a year if you know your friend saying they be obodino. Sa if you na be the dinner obo na ha. They be an obeso kaio. It don't say why study ni pa. Say okasa obon say edu lodge. They be okasa no their shame. Okasa no their shame. What she's trying to do is to always prick your mind, send you back that they want to kill me. That's where they kill judges. This is the NDC. She knows what she's doing. This is communication. I've done communication. I know what she's doing. Into okasaka kra no they do lodge abishim. Okasaka kra no they do lodge abishim. It is somebody watching. If you do lodge kra, it will come back because what she's trying to do is to drag the NDC JJ Rawlings. Sa atrono muchato Rawlings say we could judges. No, she wants to link the NDC to that and say me too. I am a judge today. That's what they want to do. Into she deliberately, as she speaks, she'll put a do lodge inside. Okasaka kra no they do lodge ashim. What she's doing is she's keeping that word active in your brain. What she's doing, she's putting that word into, you know what she's trying to do? Ochina MPP for no mama kano, their talking point will be on the murdering of the judges. Edu lodge. You will see what they will do tomorrow. The LPP will have a press conference. 90% of the statement will be about Edu Lodge. Why are you intimidating her? You know some judges were killed. She wants to politicize the process. Inti onimdioye watnasia rehearsals onimdiana oya nende. She's planting something in the heads of people because you see, MPP for Yankophobia, they find a way to make nothing out of something, or to make something out of nothing. Let me say it that way. Now, the moment Albemomo read me to say no, that is what they are chewing. The conversation will now not be about the Chief Justice breaching the law, taking an oath, and coming on TV to break the law. The conversation will be, hey, Judge Fodi Kuomono, are they trying to do the same? That is how she wants the conversation to go. Now, Mama Chawade, she says something else again. Yanku enim. Oka her nominating the secretary, any chamber for any some other 3 judges to Kufuado to take them to Supreme Court. Or can Wasem?
How has it suddenly become unconstitutional or wrong conduct or incompetence for the Chief Justice to recommend to the President to consider for nomination judges who, in her view, satisfy the constitutional standard of high moral integrity? Yet, despite all the evidence provided, there is a hearing being conducted at Edu Lodge. I have taken this walk through Mr. Ofori's petition to show that the allegations have no bearing whatsoever on any sensitive national issues or public safety or order, or my inability to perform my functions as Chief Justice. They also do not have any basis in law or truth. They are just an attempt to gather a lot of complaints together, regardless of whether they are true or not, whether they are justified or not, just to have an excuse for the conduct of this inquiry that breaks all the rules of fair hearing.
Say, then and the day, or no, waka see for judges be enko. Supreme Court abedani asema e bin sida na since Ghana bae no saade we nya ade bi a e wo senka yete krum ha no ye ka say Supreme Court or Chief Justice and nominate and I say wafanko fo bi din dia koma president. Go into our history. There has never been a day. There has never been a day a Chief Justice actual letter dia koma president to say me secretary any some judges are me pe o masem consider form of Supreme Court. There has never been a timer, a sitting or a sitting Chief Justice. Letter. She wrote a letter to the president, added names and said these people. You can consult the General Legal Council, which is fine. We understand. You can consult the Ghana Bar Association, those idiots. We understand. But for you to end up writing an official letter to the president and suggesting to the president, because when you consulted the General Legal Council and the Ghana Bar Association, you are consulting them on what? Now, you consulting them does not give you the room to, at the end of the day, suggest to the president who to move to the Supreme Court. And that is where we found, say, you are abusing the office. It is not you. At the end of the day, during your tenure, judges are being nominated by the president too. It is that action, the way you conducted yourself, how you imposed yourself on the process, writing a letter to the president and telling the president to say, move them to the Supreme Court. That's why I told you earlier on, where you sit, so it influences things. Because president, on your lawyer, president, on your judge, president, on the courtroom. And he said, wow, we should judiciary at the paper, at the dean to the my president said, me suggest Senko 4 way or the Omopa Supreme Court. He is taking from you because you are in that field. So 90%, you have decided for the president. You are imposing their pay on the president. You are president on your lawyer, and or your lawyer on your practicing lawyer, on your judge, on the Supreme Court. And he said, extra letter, you are technically telling him, I know my people. I have worked with these people. In fact, if you are going to listen to me, these are the people you need to work with. And technically, you have skewed the process. Do you understand? And we are talking about your own secretary who at the end of the day led your daughter to get a juicy contract all because of you. We are talking about a judge who sat on your opposition, the opposition's case, Atofor's case. This judge called Efia Sewa, she sat on Atofor's case, which was one of the most controversial cases in the history of the Republic. Because that case, you Godfrey Dami or Attorney General, who was meeting people behind the scenes in the Supreme Court judge's house. You picked Cheba for who we know, all the judges in the High Court and Appeals Court knows how he got there. We are talking about a process that you are forcing on Ghanaians. So, I think, Madam Torkornoo, what you are refusing to understand and then say, in all this process, it is your conduct we are looking at. It is not how you think you live your life. It is the lens, your conduct, and the Obrana Wabo as a Chief Justice. You are refusing to admit that your conduct somehow, some way, wasn't right. But we are looking at your conduct because your jumana wo no emrada ho ethics wo ho. Now, when you read Article 144, thank you, team, for bringing this in. When you read 144, say neka, this is what Article 144 says. Maybe you don't want to read for the people to know. Article 1442, the president appoints other Supreme Court justices acting on the advice of the Judicial Council in consultation with the Council of State and with the approval of Parliament. So if even the president consults, or through you the president consult the Judicial Council, and even through you the president consult the Council of State, you are not supposed to write a letter to the president and demanding that these 5 judges be moved to the Supreme Court. You have flouted the law. Because the Article 1442 says clearly, the president appoints other Supreme Court justices acting on the advice of the Judicial Council in consultation with the Council of State and with the approval of Parliament. So your job is to sit and allow the process to work. So how do you end up writing a letter and putting names on it and telling the president that these are the people I want you to nominate? No, your conduct is wrong. And you are failing to understand that we are dealing with your conduct, not what or how or what you feel. No, You are getting it wrong. That is where the misleading, no ebem. That is where they are misleading you. Ehon no mo de da no. Ehon no mo side no, and no mo de da no. And I know you know, but you are deliberately trying to mislead Ghanaians. And it's now sorry, Edus Lodge. The same Edus Lodge. And ya hona Professor Nano Pokwaja na operate or your office free. Edus Lodge, this building. Then what build we want so dangerous and daring and Robert's TV so yeah Edus Lodge Okasaba Kubia Edus Lodge. You are trying to implant something. That is why people like us we say so we are political, we are very political, we are dangerous. You are somebody we should be very careful about. We should be very careful about you. Opesa will say that belief na your system you want to destroy it. I'm yet to see one former judge, former lawyer who is legitimate in Ghana defending you. And your mama say all the judges who have retired in Ghana, nobody has stuck their neck out to defend you. Are you not shocked? Now, I'm going to be in Ghana for Torkornoo. And the other point to be or can send me but boss our video where the last video no me busa the questions be. I want about Torkornoo and Kasa what she did today is unconstitutional. She has broken the law today. Any Ghanaian can take Torkornoo to court. You know why? I'm not sure there. Listen to this video. Come.
They have been in the public domain for some months now. They are actually available on the internet, so I'm not addressing anything that is not known in the public space. Many negative things have been said about me through public commentary on the petitions, although the petitions were responded to 7 days after I received them. And so anyone who cared to acknowledge my side of the story would have had no need to keep repeating the petitions without discussing them with the answers. And when I provided these answers, I also added with evidence to prove that each allegation was either a lie, a wrong opinion about how work is conducted in the judicial service, a wrong opinion on the work of judges, or a wrong opinion on the duties of a Chief Justice. I'll start with Mr. Daniel Ofori's petition. They have been in the public domain for some months now. They are actually available on the internet, so I'm not addressing anything that is not known in the public space. Many negative things have been said about me through public commentary on the petitions, although the petitions were responded to 7 days after I received them. And so anyone who cared to acknowledge my side of the story would have had no need to keep repeating the petitions without discussing them with the answers. And when I provided these answers, I also added with evidence to prove that each allegation was either a lie, a wrong opinion about how work is conducted in the judicial service, a wrong opinion on the work of judges, or a wrong opinion on the duties of a Chief Justice. I'll start with Mr. Daniel Ofori's petition. They have been
so strategically, she did something today. And anytime I catch her, I say Torkornoo dangerous. I respected the power, but she knows how to play around words. Onimumrano say odi bonia onim, and she's so calculated when she's committing a crime. Onim said the obey and no is unconstitutional. We boom raso. Now, Emrana a board committee no buying any process no buying no. Onim say it is Emra a yes secret. It was said the omu ye nyina it should not be in public. Investigators, petitioners, witnesses, Chief Justice herself. That is why Aura a baby a oko kasana also taking oath. Udin see say adiena wobeka any de obeteno enkwa abontene. She knows to say emra oha it is obuso. Inti okasano or starting or say in Sembia what it in one from him or say public domain. And Osaka say on the internet. Into one. Odinkam what ya say. Nyoma bia or responding to. Ninyina ye. Things on the internet she does not have control over. Tie. The reason why I can't say it was because from the beginning, no, or catch them say the only time I will petition when the president of the republic FWD petition the bread no. Now since our committee ni no, ye man the petition ni be. If you say committee ni catch and say president na petition ni be there, then there's no need we giving you any petition again. So one, or say responses are odema and a kasa or kasa you know what she call things that she has heard in the public domain. Secondly, they are things at the end of the day what internet so in some uncle for kafa and we already know they are known stuff. So right now she's hiding under what we call speculation to answer questions in the petition. Do you understand? Because one, we're taking an oath. Now, at the end of the day, waji petition or president or say sa petition no president to the man na committee no emma the petition. Almost say we who petition no. Meaning she knows what is in the petition. Just that before the committee no physically a man the petition no. But as Madam Torkornoo there, she has seen what is in the petition. Every allegation against her, she has seen it. But you see, she wanted to abuse the oath she took. She wanted to breach the law. So she said, she is going to respond to what is in the public, on the internet, things people have been saying about her. So she specifically chose things that on what you say, I can't find home. In this capacity, she is speaking from what she has heard from the internet and not what is in the petition. Technically, whatever she said today, whatever response she gave today are speculative. Because say a petition or person or answer questions a woman, then she has flouted the law. She has breached the law because she had taken an oath. Time a president to cry at this first petition, the president told her that this should be in secrecy. It is said, okay, she is answering the questions without saying, she's answering the questions in the public domain. Speculations in the media, then she knows, wafumra. Now she's running away from that into the Nkaka say, this is things that are in the public domain. These are things that are on the internet, meaning whatever she's answering today, they are not factual. They are all speculative. Because between you and I, whatever the woman is answering on internet, so in comfort sending, it is not automatic or emphatic that those things are in the petition. Unless she wants to tell me, say, President Muhammad the petition, the man, when read the petition, because already petition there, then what she's answering and saying they are speculative. She knows it's in a petition, but because she has taken an oath, she knows that when we question her, I didn't know we didn't see our Bejina Bontine air candidates or say, oh, these were on the internet. Everybody knows. So one, she wants to take a cover. She does not want the law to hang her. And Internal Statica said, the answers I'm going to give to the petition questions, these are things in the public domain. They are all on the internet. She is not confirming. She does not want to tell you that she's answering the petition questions. She's being very tactical and diabolic. So if this woman came to stand on TV for about 1 hour and spoke, then it means whatever she came to do were all speculative. We are supposed to ignore her. Because if you came to answer questions that has been posed on social media by anybody, then I should not take you, the Chief Justice, serious. You are being speculative. Until you come to tell me, say, I am answering questions from the petition I have witnessed. But the moment you tell me you are answering questions from the petition you have witnessed, then you have breached the law because you have taken an oath. Strategically, she said, these are things in the public domain she's answering, but technically she's answering the petition questions. Me as a Ghanaian, who is serious about what I do, the Chief Justice came to fool herself today, with all due respect to her. Every single thing she did was all on speculation. You cannot come and stand on TV for 1 hour and tell me you are answering petition that is floating on social media. They are not factual. There's nothing that proves that what you are telling me, what you saw on social media, the things that were circulated on the internet are factual. You need to be factual as the Chief Justice of Ghana. She knows that when she says she's factual, she knows that when she says that she's answering the questions from the petition, she has breached the law. So today, she technically, strategically came to tell you she's answering questions from where? From the internet. She's a liar. So you understand now. I need to the end there. Uko chana and say we boom so see me boom rabia so. Na say na wo gina na ka petition na so say na internet nyoma wo internet so ya ka fa me ho na me answer. So you cannot take it to court. Now so kase nyoma na wo answer no e de nyoma wo petition ma she has sworn an oath at the committee level. She is going to be held accountable. And into now beka asa statement which into we ready utie ni here ati de oye.
They have been in the public domain for some months now. They are actually available on the internet. So I'm not addressing anything that is not known in the public space. Many negative things have been said about me through public commentary on the petitions, although the petitions were responded to 7 days after I received them. And so anyone who cared to acknowledge my side of the story would have had no need to keep repeating the petitions without discussing them with the answers. And when I provided these answers, I also added with evidence to prove that each allegation was either a lie, a wrong opinion about how work is conducted in the judicial service, a wrong opinion on the work of judges, or a wrong opinion on the duties of a Chief Justice. I'll start with Mr.
Finished. I think the committee should end this process. She has endangered everybody at the committee level. She has exposed their location. She has exposed the petitioners, their names. She has exposed exactly the precise location of where the hearing is ongoing. This woman has put everybody's life in danger. The committee should fold up. Whatever they have now is enough to end this. She has breached the law. She has exposed every single person on that committee. She has endangered everybody. This woman basically is dangerous to our democracy. And I will advise the committee that if they are close in closing their file, they need to do it now. This woman has nothing to offer. She's out there denigrating the committee, denigrating the president, trying to politicize the matter. The committee, you have heard enough from this woman. She has nothing to offer. End your report, write your report, and drop it on the desk of the president. She has no respect for anybody. She has no respect for the rule of law. She does not respect the constitution. We need to make sure that this matter ends and must end now. Torkornoo is a disease, is a disgrace to the judicial service. What I've explained to you, I'm not clear idea what she did today. Mama Mankofo Wenjimiye, we gave them the power and we have the right through the constitution to take that power. So we are Ghana in our Shemia. Whatever you witness today, Ochina, the MPP, they will come and they will make noise. See them as comedians. Torkornoo, if she has a case, she should go to the committee and answer. If she has a case, she should go to court. But my advice to the committee is, all of you guys on the committee, your lives are in danger. Be careful, because Torkornoo has given you people your location, whatever you do out. She has sent a red signal. She has directed these hooligans to you. Security, national security, the committee is about time you pull the plugs. It's very, very important. I'll always be here to tell you the truth, to break the issues down, to let you know that this country needs to be governed by you and I. We cannot allow a few to lie to us, to take us for granted, and feel too entitled to be questioned. We are the people and we are the messengers. The messengers we have the power to speak truth to power, the power to make sure the right things are done.